It just went and looked for your name and found a number and associated with the keypad where it says, please ring doorbell. And
see? Yeah, you figured it out. Hey guys, how's it going? Here with Andrew, who is also
Thanks for having me.
Also a fan of Kickstart. I like that. Going off on the, do you do the game fuel too?
Off and on. I cut down on the energy drinks because I get a little too overly hyper sometimes.
Fair enough. No, I've just never met anyone else that actually
really?
Kickstart. So
yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Awesome. All right, cool. Hanging out in the den as we are. Okay, so we'll begin with the four firsts. Okay. So what was the first album you purchased with your own money?
Kill 'Em All. Nice. Believe it or not. So, interesting. It was a cassette. And my mom made me take it back after she was reading through the lyrics. So, took it back, and then I actually traded it in for White Zombie of La Sex Aristo, back in the day. So, didn't show that one to her, so I just kept that one to the side.
Yeah. What was the first concert you attended?
Embarrassingly, so I grew up in the sticks, which is like concerts are like few and far between. I went to the first Kiss reunion concert. Wasn't a fan, but my buddy was obsessed with Kiss. So we went down to the Mankato Center. Yeah, saw them and changed my mind a little bit about them. Seeing them live is way different than the albums.
Oh, I'm sure.
So it was just absolutely crazy. Yeah. So, but yeah, we made the trip down there and did the concert and made the trip all the way back up to McGregor. It was like 3.5 hour drive or something like that. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
You know what you do for rock and roll, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was the first instrument you acquired?
A guitar. If you go way back to when I was like 5, my parents had gotten me and my brother one of those like, it was almost like made of cardboard or pressboard or some cheapo acoustic, like an electric guitar was acoustic. Until me and my brother saw some video of somebody smashing a guitar, so we play bands, and it lasted that long. So
typical.
Yeah, and for a while it was I didn't really get. I mean, I was huge into music, but I didn't get into like wanting to play guitar. And then I had a buddy he had a Gibson Nighthawk, brought it in school one day with this little, the great amp and stuff like that, and I was like, I have to have one of those. Just the way it looks, the way it sounded, and so my parents got me a Kramer Striker, from one of my uncles, and they had a little Roland solid state amp that went with it. Nice. No distortion at all. So I come in there, like the poor kid, like, hey, here we go, a little bit of overdrive, and I try to crank it up and do whatever. And then they had to acquire the Metal Zone pedal later on to boost it up.
Which leads into, what was the first band you joined?
So I had a high school band, and I can't even. We changed names so much. So like we started as like The Exorcist or something like that, and then turned into Until Death. So like ... Until Death, because I'd seen like some I don't know, it was like some TV show they had that, and they had this like guy got some obsessive clingy chick with him, and she was like married until, and then turned around Until Death, and I'm like, oh, it's such a cool name. So
that is well, then we'll just go. Okay, how did we get here? What is your path?
Crazy path. I mean, I started playing guitar when I was 15, I think. So getting huge into Metallica at the time, right? I mean, that was the Blackened album was like my kind of switch over to being a metalhead, so Blackened, that first riff came in, and I was just like hooked at that point. So, so just a lot of self-taught guitar lessons, guitar, and tons of tab books, and trying to learn things by ear and stuff. And then went to college and stopped playing for a while, which was a huge regret of mine. But I used to piss people off my first 2 years in the dorms because I would just crank up like Ride the Lightning and like just play that and go on. So it was pretty quiet for a while, and then started getting big into wanting to record my own stuff. Started writing stuff. I was writing stuff when I was like 16, 17. So kind of resurrected some of those things, and eventually, I had a buddy who played guitar as well, and we started a band together. Went through different iterations, but it was more of, we always started with the covers. We're like, all right, get everybody into the covers, figure out everybody's style, and then we'll start writing music. And,
and then you go from there. Yeah.
We'd get settled in, and then someone would quit. And we settled in, and someone would quit. So it was hit in the ass. And then Brandon Sadler, he actually joined our band for a while. He played bass with our band.
Okay.
And Don Kranz also was a drummer in our band.
Okay, yeah.
So they had started, or Brandon and Chris Williams and Felicia. I forgot your names, right, Felicia? They started Metal Ships, right? And Don joined them, and they were looking for another guitarist, like kind of fill the sound. So I joined them, learned all the songs. We played about 3 or 4 gigs with them, and then they disbanded. So Brandon and I had played together, in 2 bands now, and I love playing with the guy, and just love his attitude just in general. So we decided we're just going to start let's get in the metal band. Yeah. We have a lot of things that we like. Him and I have some similar styles, but also deviate on styles too.
Yeah,
like him and I like gravitate towards like the Trivium and Metallica and those kind of like thrash metal bands. But he's also into like the kind of the older school like Sabbath and Osbourne and stuff. Where I into like the Periphery and embarrassingly gent scene. So I like there's like these really cool contrasts, but at the same time, a lot of similar ground as well. So we started, and originally we were looking for a female front. Had a couple singers with us for a while, and then they either had other projects going on, or like Megan, who was the last female singer we had. She ended up getting pregnant and stuff, and so it was like, okay, we could try seeing what's available. It's not just limited to that. So then eventually we looked around and got Andrew Strobe and Sean Murray, who played bass with us for a long time, and then Stephen Cunha was on the drums, and Stephen had to leave, and so then we kind of, because Sean played drums too, so we kind of pushed him towards the drums, because we tried finding drummers, but you guys are hard to find.
We're far and far between.
You guys are like really hard. So so Sean was kind of our, like, we figured like we could fill in for a while. I mean, we even had like Will Arveus play drums with us for 1 gig, right? Because we just were looking for a drummer.
And if you see one, you say, "You come."
Yeah, exactly. So and obviously Will's busy with a million things, so that we're gonna say, hey. So Sean stepped up, but Sean's a phenomenal bass player too. So I can't give that guy enough props. But anyways, so Distal Descent was formed, and we played a few gigs, did an album, and still playing Distal Descent, and it's my main project, and we are working on another album right now, and trying to get that thing pushed forward. And there's a lot of cool things coming on this year, Rockfest this year. So
I just saw that today.
Yeah,
because somebody put out the actual list of the local stuff, and I'm like, hey, I know those guys. So this is your first time?
First time.
That should be awesome.
Want to see Slipknot? I've wanted to see Slipknot forever, and every time that opportunity came, I couldn't. So obviously they're not the same young bucks they used to be, but it would be a cool show.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to see them in 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
That tour, the last one was Paul, and that one was awesome. That was an incredible show. And then technically I saw them at the first Northern Invasion.
Oh yeah.
Reference wall. But by the time they got on stage, I was with my stepson and a bunch of friends of his, who ironically I took to the first Slipknot show that I saw. He had just turned 18, and that was like his first show.
Nice.
His first concert. So I'm like, yeah. And then, when that came around, he was like, hey, you want to go to this? And I'm like, sure, go. And so by the time Slipknot got on, we had misjudged the weather, because it's mid-May.
Yeah.
And we didn't prepare properly, so I was in jeans and a sleeveless t-shirt, freezing my ass off. They're all in like t-shirts and shorts, freezing their asses off.
Of course. Was it raining? Or?
It wasn't, I don't think it was raining, but it got like probably 45 degrees or something. It was like cold. And so we're just like, yeah, this is great. Okay, let's go back to tent. And then I think we left that night. We were going to stay over, but I think we wound up leaving that night. But yeah, so I mean, I don't remember much of that, much of that performance. I mean, Slipknot, from what I know, never disappoints. I mean, it's one of those bands that is just like always on. So yeah,
I'm stoked for it. So, and Anthrax is playing that date too. I'm like, God, it's perfect. It worked out perfect.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that should be a lot of fun. I'm trying to think when I first encountered you. Was it Sword Metal Fest?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Sword Metal Fest. What was it? 7?
Not last year, but the year before.
Yeah, the year before that one.
So not 2019.
Yeah,
not 2019.
2018. Yeah, November or something like that.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think if I may have seen you before then. I don't think so, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I remember watching your review of the Sword Metal Fest and all the bands that you saw, because I wasn't able to stay for all of it. And I thought you had said you'd heard of us or something, and
that might have
wanted to see us.
I maybe heard the name and like saw some videos and never got around to seeing you, and then just happened to be at that show and loaned you my bass drum pedal, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because they're a drummer for Guys Bass Drum. Like, good job.
Hey, same thing happened at a show I went to on Saturday. Karmasutra was playing, and right after the first song, their drummers, the chain snapped.
Oh no!
So Randy was just like, "Okay, any drummers in the audience want to borrow their pedal?"
Oh,
so
painful.
But we're a helpful community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what we do.
Absolutely.
So Distal Scent has been around for like 3 years.
Yeah, about 3 years, if not more. Yeah, so pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like it's been going as long as it has until you start like looking back at
actually doing the math, and you're like, shit.
Yeah.
So in that time, I mean, you've played, I would assume, a bunch of shows.
Yeah.
Anything overly memorable, good or bad?
Good or bad. Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of really good memorable gigs. I mean, like, I did feel that Sword Metal Fest, granted, like, Will was playing with us on that one, but that was really just fun, just to kind of get out. And I played Neeson's before in my other band, Ingentum, which is that cover band kind of thing. Yeah. And thought it was amazing. The sound was amazing. So, like, granted, when we played there, though, for that, it was we were the heaviest band there. Like, they're like, here's a country gospel Jose band. We're like, oh god. So I had to like go talk. I'm like, I want to bump us up back a few more spots. And so some of the rock bands come up. But anyways, but Neeson's was always fun to play. We did play Mesa Metal Fest was awesome too. It was great. Not only for
that may have been where I saw you.
Yeah. That
first one.
Yeah. So not the first one. We actually played the last one at Lee's Liquor Lounge. So before they shut it down.
Oh, okay. So the second one.
Yeah. So was it 7 or something like that? Might get my numbers messed up, or 3 Metal Fest 3, I think. But yeah, we played there, and that was awesome, just in general, just because like the metal community was all there. It was great to see a lot of people there. Amazing bands all over the place.
Yeah. And we'll get into that later.
Yeah. So good vibes and everything too, and it was really fun there. So. I don't have them bad. I guess too bad. I take it back. So we tried making no drummer work once. So we're like, program drums and stuff like that. I have those, and so we'll just cut them and we'll mix them into the board. So we played what used to be Big V's, right? And which, by the way, the monitors on the left stage suck because you're always hitting your head. So I got stuck on that side.
I've stuck hit my head. If you're over,
you're much taller.
Yeah, if you're over a certain height, don't get up on that side of the stage.
God, I turn on, bang! Yeah, it was all the time. But so we thought, as a joke, we would. I bought one of those little wavy, wacky, wild guys. Yeah, got one of those guys. Brandon had brought his kid's little, first whatever drum set, first stack drum set. So it's like this little drum set with this big wavy guy around. Bad mistake because we couldn't hear the drums through the monitors at all. So I could hear because my head's right up on it. Everybody else couldn't. So it was a lot of like looking around like, can you hear me? Okay, yeah. So that was probably one of the bad ones I think that we had off that. But live and learn. Like, you can't replace a drummer, right? So.
Especially not in this genre, no. You can in some.
Yep.
You can in some,
sure, fair enough.
But anything hard rock, metal, you just can't.
And you lose. I mean, seriously, you lose a lot of the show. Like, drummers don't get enough props to like how much, even though they're sitting in the back, how much they add to that that feel and sound.
Yeah, I mean, I could say something about that. And Donnie, this is not insulting. I've said this before. You know Donnie Darko, right?
Yeah.
I've seen him 3 times now. 3 times, 4 times. All but one, he's had backing tracks. And it just doesn't quite work. Last time I saw him, he was at the terminal, and he couldn't get the tracks loud enough to monitor, so everything was kind of off.
Yep.
The one time I did see him at Part Wolf, he actually had a live drummer and then Damien from Semtex filled in on bass. Nice. And that sounded awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that, worked.
Just adds it.
So I haven't said it to his face, but I've said it in a couple of videos. If he could get a live band together, like a, consistent live band together, that would be so much better. So much better.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. We'll do venues first because that's fun.
Sure.
Favorite venues outside of Lee's, which everybody knows is awesome and we all miss terribly.
Yeah. God, I mean, it's a sad one. A lot of the ones that I really did enjoy playing are no longer around either, too, right? So that's the bummer. Because I know Opinion was kind of a shithole, but it had such a great sound at that place, in Opinion Brewery.
Oh, Opinion! I loved Opinion.
Yeah, I like that.
I never played. I only saw like 2 shows there, but I really dug it.
The sound system there was amazing. I don't know, I can't say that enough. But Pickle Park, or what is it called?
Route 47.
Route 47 now. Yeah. That one is just a great stage, just in general. So, I guess those would kind of be like the positive ones too. You got like the Hex too is always like a guaranteed show. I shouldn't say guaranteed, but what I'm saying is there's always people that are always there, and again a good kind of almost like family vibe and stuff like that as well. So there's a lot of really good places to play at. So,
in Outlaw Saint, we seem to be practically the house band at Club Underground.
Yeah,
for better.
I like the place. It's a cool place.
I like the place. I don't like the stairs, but I like the place. Yeah. And then whatever people's opinion are, and I say this all the time, I absolutely love the Terminal. I am a huge fan of the Terminal. I'll play there any night of the week, just because they've given acts I've been in so many opportunities and stuff like that. But I know a lot of people are very anti-Terminal. I've talked to a couple people who claim they have never set foot in the Terminal. I don't know how that can be true given the scene that we're in, but so.
It is what it is.
Hey, they're making improvements. Yeah. When I was talking to Noodles, he was like, because he hadn't done sound there for a year, and they had a lot of bad play. But apparently they worked it out, and he went back, and he's like, the new sound system is great, the board is awesome, the bathrooms didn't smell, they may have actually cleaned them.
Yeah.
Which was, fix the board and fix the bathrooms, that's all the bad things about the Terminal.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Except for the size of the room.
It didn't have a drummer monitor still. We were there not too long ago, and that actually messed up the gig a little bit because the drummer didn't hear anything, so or they weren't piping anything through. So.
Well, I was going to say, I know they have one, but they but then that's the other thing Noodles was saying was he was going behind the soundboard and found a full set of drum lights and was elated. So I'm like, I can't wait to play there again if that's true.
They didn't do that there.
And if we have Noodles on sound, because we'll actually sound really good. Yeah. Not that people don't, but.
I always debated some gigs because I bought cheapo drum mics, right? Just because I'm we use it for the practice bass and stuff too. But it's I always debated on just bringing that case with and saying, hey, you got the XLRs, or bring the XLRs. But some boards don't support them, and don't have enough. But I've always debated on grabbing that. And that's something I should really do because not everywhere Mike's drums and probably should just to keep them keep the levels right, Well, and there's a certain things to the monitors that you gotta be able to hear, right? Especially, not everything's crowded right on top of the drums and
because again Noodles was saying because he is a fan of loud, and I'm like, and that's good, except if you're playing somewhere where the drums aren't mic'd.
Yeah.
And then you can't hear the drums.
Yeah. Exactly. Or the vocals too. The PAs don't keep up. That's I think when we played Eagles 34 one time, the amps and the drums were much louder than the PA system that they had there. They stuck us in one of the small rooms or something like that, and because they actually ended up triple booking some places, so they had they had another gig going on in a different room, and then they did some like polka or whatever swing dance class in like the other big room. So they're like, oh, so yeah, we triple booked you. Sorry, we're gonna stick you in this one.
We're going to stick you in this closet.
Yeah, pretty much. There's about 40 people in there.
Not even.
Yeah, it was tight.
It's tight. It's about the size of this room.
Oh yeah, it's true.
It's tiny. But I mean, it makes for a good kind of atmosphere.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were like screwed, like hang out as a band. Let's just get up in with the crowd. Like we walked around and stuff like that with everybody,
absolutely.
And hung out and talked with them, took drinks and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting setup at that club. I mean, the story I tell is I was in a cover band for 2.5 years. And we played there once, and we were booked in the big room.
Yeah.
And like maybe at max 5 people showed up.
Yeah.
In a room that can hold like 200.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, this is good. Anyway, so now the fun part. Now we'll talk about other local bands and favorites and maybe interesting stories you have, show stories and whatnot.
Okay. Yeah. Favorites.
And I know there's a lot of them.
So don't, if I forget anybody, I'm sorry. One of the bands that sticks out for me a lot is Mordic. I really dig that band. More just because of the fact that they really kind of sit in that genre that I really dig. Kind of almost, I don't want to call them gents, so sorry if I. But they really have like a really good vibe about them, a lot of energy with them, stuff like that. So. Other bands, so talk about Karma Sutra. I actually do like watching them a lot. They're a fun band to watch, and nice guys to hang out with too. So
awesome guys.
Yeah, man, we play with, and its problem is like I know there's talk like you should try to match all the different genres of gigs you're playing and stuff like that. I think sometimes it's fun to kind of mesh it up a little bit. So like we just did a gig at the Terminal with Opal and I can't forget the name of the other one, but sorry. But they were really cool bands, and everybody there was like extremely friendly. They're all hanging out and stuff like that. A lot of the gigs you go play and you'll see people leaving, like just my band's done. See ya, I'm out. That one everybody stayed until closing.
Nice.
It was really cool, and it was a really fun atmosphere out there, just in general. So, but God, there's been, and I'm like blanking on names because you put me on the spot. But
well, I've got a whole wall of people behind you.
I should start doing it. And there's like a shit ton of bands too that I think would be fun to play with. So, I know that we're talking about potentially playing with Coffin Right, and a couple other bands. I think something like in May. I don't know if I'm not supposed to say anything if it's not been confirmed or not. But Mortificator was fun. Hex 40Cs, I love those guys.
Oh, dude.
They're a fun band, and the lead guitarist is phenomenal. I love him to death. Like just So maybe slight man crush on that guy. Just watching him play is just effort. No effort at all.
Yeah.
So
No, all those guys are.
So maybe I hate him too. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I like all those guys. I'm actually interviewing Tom on Monday.
Nice.
So that should be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably get a drummer in here again to geek out about stuff. I mean, no offense to guitar players or anything. But.
Yeah, I geek out about all gear, so if you want to go good drums, go ahead. Go nuts.
Well, and I mean, because I could talk about, does your drummer use triggers at all?
No. But, so for recording tricks, though, interestingly enough, I started looking into, because I do have one trigger, and I've seen a trick where you can put the trigger on the snare, and then use that trigger to then do a parallel compression on the gate to open up the gates for the snare hits.
Oh, okay.
So you then take it, you shift it over like milliseconds, and then set the width and nice enough so that you can get it, so you don't have to really worry about putzing around with gate thresholds and stuff like that to help out with some of the bleed. So, but maybe one of these days I'll try it.
Hey, whatever works, man.
Yeah. But no triggers at all. So
that's nice. I mean, because I've again, I'm old school.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I like a lot of the more extreme metals, but it's like just give me an acoustic kit and a couple of crashes in China. Good.
I've seen a show where the bass was so loud that it actually was triggering the trigger.
Really?
So there was kicks just coming out of nowhere, which was pretty funny.
See, and that's the kind of stuff you have to work
on. Yeah, absolutely.
But it's like and you can tell immediately.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't see them set up, like that first hit, you're like, oh yeah, that's a trigger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it just kind of deadens something for me.
Yeah, because you don't get that natural dynamic and stuff like that. And there's something to be said about it not being perfect on a live show, right? Like, I like to hear that the guy's left foot is not as strong as his right foot, or whatever. Right?
It's supposed to be like that.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I mean, except in the case of like, I was talking to Robert Carlson and talking about Glutton for Punishment.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, that guy, Eric, I think his name is just so smooth and just so insane that it's just like,
dude, I've seen some of his drummer videos, and just your jaw, because he's just like,
effortless. It's like he's not even moving, and you're just like, damn. And then again, at the show I went to on Saturday, Suntex was there, and just watching Mike Curran play is just dude's a monster.
Yeah, I agree.
Of course, we hung out afterwards and went over to the joint, and we had a couple of Yake bombs. So yeah, that was fun. Love you, Mike. No, I mean, that again, that's another whole band of just really good guys.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, no, I feel bad, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a shit ton of other people too. But there's been a lot of really fun bands just to hang out with and play with. So I feel bad that I'm probably not saying them. God damn, I should have done my homework. We actually played with these guys. The Black Sabbath, Bleak Sabbath, right. We actually played with them at the Minneapolis Music Hall, or not Minneapolis, Minnesota Music. Yeah, Cafe. Yep, correct. So which is another cool stage. So
that's the place I've only been there once, and that's the time we played there.
I think they're not doing metal shows anymore or something. They used to do like a metal night, and I think they're not doing that anymore.
I don't think they've done that for a while.
Yeah,
because I remember seeing like metal nights there like all the time, and I don't think they've done that for a while. But
I almost blew up their PA system there. So
oops.
The guy was like, he's like, oh, you got a Kemper? I'll plug in the back, because I usually always tell the sound guys, I'm like, got a Kemper if you don't want a mic, and just plug it right in the back. And they did that, but he didn't turn the heat down, so. He's like, all right, rhythm guitar, turn the volume pedal on. Sorry. Oops. And stopped immediately. So, but there's video. The funny thing is, there's like a couple pictures and videos of it with the guy had started placing the microphone in front of my amp, but didn't plug it in. So
there you go.
Anyways,
shit, we blew through all my questions.
Oh my god, I'm going down
fast. Well, it's only been like 26 minutes.
Yeah, last one was like an hour. At least the one with Mike was like an hour. Wasn't it? Pretty close to an hour?
Yeah, that one was a little over an hour.
Yeah.
It probably would have been longer, but he refused to like talk about anybody because he didn't want to do any bad blood. And I'm like, it's okay. He didn't even want to do any favorites. And I'm just like, dude, really? I know you have some favorites.
Damn it! I should have went that route. No, it was it's amazing. Like honestly, it's great to go out there, and honestly, I'll be the first one to admit that I don't do it enough. In whatever kids and work and everything else.
No, I'm
take up time.
Completely understand. I mean, I'm single with no kids and a job still, but and I don't do it nearly as much as I feel I should.
Yeah,
so it's like I can't expect.
No, and I need to I need to see you guys. So send me suggestions on who to go see, because it's great out there, and there's just so many different bands, and it's cool to see like other bands coming from other areas too, like St. Cloud and Wisconsin and all these other places as well. So it's nice to see. Because I think that community is pretty crazy. It's awesome. It's crazy, just how wide stretch or how stretched that is and stuff. And
absolutely.
The different types of bands you can see, just to kind of even like you can almost like start to see like certain like I don't know genre. I don't want to say genre styles, but just like different kind of feels or what's coming from different areas and stuff like that. So.
Like Wisconsin definitely has a different feel than Minnesota does, and Iowa has a little bit different feel than like South Dakota does, but it's all cool.
Yeah, I was like looking at like because Richard McDee gave 5 join my page requests for all the different other fests that are coming out. I thought it was really interesting to see even like just the different flyers. Like like some flyers were using like his logo, some of them had their own custom, some of them just did their own thing with it, and I was like, you can just see like the different variations of how
absolutely. Okay, we can go there. How far out has Distal played?
Yes, we've gone all the way out to Buddy's Bar over there, Wisconsin. Why do I forget the name? The city.
Everybody's Bar.
Everybody's Bar. Yeah. Is he?
Is that in LaCroix? No.
No, I mean.
No, there's another one in LaCroix that
Yeah.
plays that.
Good God. It's like in the, isn't it like Eau Claire area or something like that?
It might be Eau Claire.
Yeah.
It's somewhere over there.
Somewhere over there. Yeah, we're talking about. God, I'm sucking at this. Okay, we're gonna get a lot of dislikes on this one.
Probably not.
Yeah, and we're talking about Duluth as well. Like
Nice.
trying to get up there. We've done St. Cloud as and not the red carpet though. We're just
The Keller?
Yep, the Keller Bar. So red carpet looked really fun. Keller Bar was again the stairs joint. So, but it was cool. The kind of really neat atmosphere there too as well. So
That's not, I've never been in the Keller, but I've heard it's a great little room.
Yeah,
And
yes.
I would love to get up there.
yeah, the Club Underground was fun. We played that with Metal Ships too. So it's like again that's a kind of like interesting kind of you go downstairs into your own little private area, I guess. So,
Yeah, it is like
Yeah.
it is almost has a like a private club kind of feel.
yeah. So
With the danky little couch in the
right. Oh yeah, see, I forget there's like couches and stuff back there.
where who knows
Yeah.
what has happened.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, we another one that I was gonna. So if you want to go back to memorable gigs too. So when we did the Summer Slaughterfest, that was crazy, but so it was cool because it was. It's crazy because it was just like in out in out. So totally disrupted like everything. But it was once you're up there, it was fun. And then the fact that like all the different bands that were there, and like bands that I like to listen to and stuff like that, like Within Ruins and Veil Maya and. The other one I forgot. But also another band I really dig. They're all playing there, and then I ran into the guitarist for After the Burial there as well and shit. And I
Nice.
told to go into like my starstruck. I'm like, oh my god, you're awesome! Love it. Yeah. It was, but it was a really, and that was on in good God, Skyway Theater. So.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
lots of ins and outs. I lost my Kemper rig there for a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I thought someone stole it. Somehow the guy who was like managing all the areas like took my Kemper rig and stuck it in a corner. So I'm like, you get to my truck and I look back and I'm like,
Wait a minute.
shit, freaking out. And I'm like, did I leave it in the alleyway? And I'm freaking walking around the alleyway. And, yeah. But yeah, it was a fun, like the sound there was amazing, but it was just so in and out so quick that it didn't feel real, or I guess. So.
Well, yeah, no, and I found that most time on stage feels like that.
Yeah,
Even if you're on
true.
stage for an hour and a half, it feels like that.
Yeah.
So if you're literally on stage for 15 minutes,
Yeah.
it feels faster than that.
Yeah.
But I suppose that's like a big enough production that they have like professional teams and they're just like
Just
know what they're
shuffling
doing.
in
They're
and
just
out.
yeah.
In between, and essentially you're just there to let the big band set up, right? So
Well, yeah,
to fill the void, but which is fine. I'll take that. But yeah, I don't know. Some of those longer gigs, man. Obviously I need to get my ass back in shape and stuff, but you got that. Well, so because I wear that mask and stuff too, right? So.
Yeah.
Good God, there's been some. I think we did a 90-minute set once, and I was like, whew, I'm ready for this because I try to like get as much energy into it. I don't like the band that stands there and looks
and kind of noodles. And
noodles. And stuff. I want to like try to be into it because I dig the music we're playing anyways. And
Oh yeah, no,
plus
absolutely.
I want to like share that. I mean,
you want to give as much as they're getting. Yeah.
and there's been times like I'll fuck with people too. Like if they're staring out in the crowd, I want to get that energy going too. I'll stare at them and stuff and tilt my head. And come on, man, let's
Get
go
all
to it.
creepy too, yeah.
I used to go out in the crowd too for a while until I was at when we were at Opinion, and I was out there headbanging with this dude, and he was like, "Yeah," and then all of a sudden he just thought it was a good idea to start moshing with me.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, hit me, bang, and I, ducked his shoulder into him and knocked him, knocked him over. I'm like, all right, I think I'm
Yeah, we get.
just gonna get back up there now. Especially like playing that big, huge, that Dean Razorback with all the funny pieces and stuff. You're like,
yeah.
don't want to kill anybody.
Yeah. I've always found it weird when guitar players or bass players jump into the pit, and it's just like, you really want to be doing that?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
Sometimes it's cool when they go around, but yeah, when you're disrupting playing and stuff like that, it's a little.
Yeah. So let's talk about the mask. Where did that come from? Why is that there?
So it started back with Metal Ships. We recorded a video at Memory Lane, and I was just looking at myself. I'm like, I look like every other Joe Blow weekend band player, and
Yeah.
I think I look, my own critic. I think I look like a goony fucker anyway. So I was like, sea grease. Yeah. No, yeah. So I was just like, I just don't like it. So and kind of just want to be able to, I don't know, people could recognize or whatever what me, I guess. So I started like dabbling with like, okay, do I change like get-ups or whatever, and then started looking into like the biker kind of like bandanas and stuff like that, just to see like what would make sense, and ended up those they wrap on your face, so when you breathe in it sucks into your mouth and stuff too. It's just not comfortable, so, and hot. So then I didn't want to do a real mask, like a full mask, because it's been done, and not that I'm that differentiated that much further off, but yeah, I just decided like I was like, well, maybe I'll do like a partial mask or something like that. So I was digging around online, and I ended up finding like these like airsoft masks or whatever that are shaped like skulls, and some of them are black, some of them look metal or whatever. So I was doing those for a while, and then I was like, well, it's kind of boring. Why don't I put lights in it? So I bought those string lights, which, by the way, if you don't cover the ends up with electrical tape, they'll shock you. So
good to know.
Yeah,
helpful tip there, kids.
Yeah, because you sit there on a gig and you're like getting shocked all the time. God damn. So did that for a while, and then put LEDs in later, and then with Distal, like I wanted to sing, like how do you sing with this thing that doesn't move? Right. So started modifying them and kind of like cutting them up, and like ended up. My wife, who was an occupational therapist, has these TheraBands and stuff like that. So I was cutting them up so that I could make it flop back shut and stuff too. So ended up like cutting the mask up and getting a strap under my chin and trying to get that to work, and it ended up working out really well. Nice. They break a lot lately, especially, but because they're getting older now. But did that. I did like the kind of what you consider like a half gimp mask with the bars or whatever on it too. But I'm like, well, looks like Paul Gray a little bit more than I want to. Yeah. So I actually did wear them. So we actually played with Armor Saint when we were in Gentum. So, and we did a gig at Route 47 or Pickle Park that time, and I ended up wearing that mask because it made sense to wear that mask, because I needed to sing backup. Like I sang Master of Puppets, like the whole song I'm singing. So I'm like, and I didn't have the other mask at the time, so I bought that just like a quick fix, and I threw LEDs in there, which they started like flopping out because it's like cloth and stuff like that underneath it. So everything like dangling at the end of it and stuff like that. But yeah, I was like, I figured people either recognize that or recognize like they'll say, hey, it's cool, or they'll say, that guy's a fucking moron, but they still gonna know who I am. Either way, there's the moron. And I try, obviously, like the guitars, like the music is what I want. It's just like aesthetic to like do the gigs and stuff like that, and just kind of, I don't know, helps me at least anyways, kind of get into that mode, like it's game face time, no pun intended. But yeah, that's where it came about. So just needed to differentiate myself a little bit more. So
very cool, very cool. And I think because there's not a lot of local bands that I've seen that go the more theatrical route. I mean, you have Plague of Stars, who does makeup.
Right.
You have Randy in Karma Sutra, who does stuff, but not the whole band.
He does his own hat too, which is pretty cool.
And he does the hats, which is very awesome. Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen them lately where he's playing bass, because he's playing bass.
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah. And so, who did I see at the gig? I was talking to someone, and you're like, I really like these guys, but I miss the days of Randy kind of like stomping around in the circle with the hammer.
Yeah. The little flashlight hammer. And
but yeah, he's playing bass now, and I mean, it's still Karma Sutra, it's still cool, but that little element is kind of missing.
But I remember. I used to walk around. When we played, when we did play the Minnesota Music Cafe, they played there with us too. And he was walking around off the stage, swinging that.
He's got that rhythm going. It's like that's one of the first things that struck me when the first time I saw him. It's like, what's that dude doing? Okay. I kind of get it. Sure. Yeah. They're
a fun band. Just in general, nice guys.
No, absolutely.
There's a few people who do it. I'm trying to think of the industrial metal band. Why am I blanking on their names? Doing a horrible job today.
I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but Promadol?
Promadol. Yeah,
Promadol.
Yeah.
However you pronounce it. I apologize.
Yeah, but yeah, and those guys
go
all
out.
out. Yeah, and that just image is cool shit.
Oh yeah.
You look at like a lot of even like the promotion pictures and stuff like that. Like those guys like look like fucking black. It's just, like evil's just soaking out of them. It's such a badass image.
Yeah.
So I have tons of props to those guys on that because they look just fucking killer. So
yeah, and it's funny because I was at a show that they were at, and I was with Natalie, who of course is with the bass player. The singer came over, and he's got the chest plate on with the
skin.
And he was just like, complaining that it was like hot as shit and just like all this stuff. And I'm in the back of my head, I'm thinking, then why do you do it? But I'm just like, because it's the whole
full image
package. Yeah. And he was saying, I got the tits on now, but they probably won't last 2 songs. And they didn't.
Yeah.
He had them off within a song and a half.
Yeah.
Because I think it was a show during the summer. I think at Part Wolf, and you get sweaty.
I did a gig with them at Part Wolf as well, but they didn't have the bass player at the time. I think he was sick and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a cool band. Like completely different sound, like what you typically hear and stuff. So, it's neat. So, which is hard. Like that's one thing I like about this area in general is there's not a lot of bands. I mean, they don't typically all sound alike or sound like.
Oh God, no.
It's great. They can mix all these bands together and have completely different experiences as to how they sound and stuff. I mean, honestly that when I was at the Mason Metal Fest, like that is really what gave me that realization that hey, there's a shit ton of bands out here and they're not the same bands. Yeah, it's awesome. So.
Well, even when I was talking to Robert, he was like, "Yeah, I'm in 2 of the bands I'm in are heavy death metal bands. They're completely different death metal bands.
Yeah.
I mean, between Glutton and Krog.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
Krog is fun. I like both those bands too.
Yeah.
So and like Greg is. I always love talking with Greg. He's just always like hanging out, a nice guy, right? and stuff. But you need to watch those guys play. It's just like fucking crazy. Like love watching those guys. And then Rob's got first time I met Rob, I actually sold him a Line 6 HD 400 he was going to use for like practicing or something like that. And I remember going into his house. I'm like, well, there's a freaking Guitar Center over here. I'm like, oh shit, where do you guys live?
A little bit.
The guy's got a collection of guitars. It makes me jealous. So, but another cool guy to hang out and talk with.
He's cool. Where are we gonna go? Oh, and outside of a band like Impaler, who definitely has their shtick. We'll call it a shtick.
Yeah.
I don't think they would refute that. Like Impaler is one of those bands that I think everybody should see at least once in their life.
Yep.
And I was 2 years ago, I think. I saw their Krampus show at Uptown VFW with Dumpster Juice, which was awesome because I've heard the name Dumpster Juice forever, and I finally got to see them. And I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. And it's cool because their drummer is a guy named Todd who used to work at Thompson's Drum Shop downtown that I used to go to all the time as a kid.
Oh no shit!
And now I think he's over at Clash.
Nice.
So it's like Of course, he's also the drummer for God Came from Space. And if you've ever seen those guys are wicked.
Really?
Awesome.
Have you ever watched, was it Lord Goron? Those guys at all?
I don't think so.
So it's funny because I've seen them. I think I played with them twice. And I can't remember if it was both a Distal or there's like Metal Ships and Distal. But those guys, they have short songs. They're just like that. But they're like, it was like some of the funniest shit in the world. Like, about a diarrhea, whatever. It's like, 30 second or minute long song. That's it. And then move on to the next one. Those guys, and I hung out with them. They're really fun guys to hang out with afterwards too, and have a few drinks and shit like that too. That's another band that kind of sticks out just because they just got a completely different thing. It's just like plays fast and as you can go. And I'm sorry if they take that just the wrong way, but I love it. I think it's great. They have their thing, and it's their model, and that's how things work. And it sounds good. It's cool. It just switches everything up again. So
no, absolutely, absolutely.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, and like bands I've gotten to in the last year, Blackbird Bridge I'd never seen, and those guys are fucking incredible.
I haven't seen them. Yeah.
You got to check them out.
Okay.
And Trida is another one I've been talking up like crazy lately. They sent me before their last album came out. They actually sent me the events tracks, and as if I would listen to it and kind of do short review that they could put on like Instagram and stuff.
Nice.
So I did that, and realizing that, laying on my bed with my headphones, this is the first time I've sat down and listened to an entire album in 20 years.
No way.
Without like it being in the background or
Yeah.
doing something else, like just listening to it. And that probably is what drove it into my head even more.
Just sucked you right in.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's an incredible album anyway. And those guys live are just killer.
Nice. That's hard to do in these days, right? I'm like keeping people's attention spans and doing that. Even like a lot of the bigger bands and stuff that are out there, like it almost seems like they're just either they have a few stock ones and a couple of good ones out of the mix and stuff like that, and hope that you buy the whole album or not. Or it's hard to do that. Even like with our stuff, like we want to like I like to write journeys a lot of times when I'm writing songs. So sometimes I don't want to follow the template. Sometimes we need to suck it back in because there's times where I've written a 13-minute long song and like, okay, probably good to, I mean, although like Periphery, I don't know if you've seen the latest Periphery album at all.
I have not.
So their opening song for their album is 17 minutes long, and it's just and it's an amazing song. I love the song. It starts off just heavy as shit, and just all over starts off with like freaking orchestra and stuff like that.
And then just kind of goes,
and just all these quiet pieces and just this go genty and thrash, and it's just an amazing song. I love that album. So a lot of times I gotta have people rein me in a little bit, kind of, because I like to do too much at times, which is cool. We'll dissect things, and Brandon is definitely my checks and balances guy when it comes into doing that. So, and just in general, like he has like an idea of how structure should go, and everybody's writing for the band too. It's not just it's not just us doing that stuff. So because when we first started, it was kind of just it's Brandon and me. Like I think I wrote 50% and he wrote 50% of the songs when we did the first album. So and it was then it's throw it at the band and let's change them. And some of those songs sound so different than what they originally sounded like. So but doing that journey is I like to do those every once in a while, or switch things up and kind of not have the same vibe over and over and over and have those dynamics and stuff. So hopefully that's helped suck things in, but it's not always the case either, right?
Well, I was going to say, it sounds like I hear like a solo project coming up. And just do an album of
just one long
13 to 17 minute exploration.
There's that Meshuggah song. It's like 20 some minutes long or something like that. On they did an EP. I swear it's like I think it was like 21 minutes or something like that of just Meshuggah. Who I love. Meshuggah's badass, man.
Well, I was going to say, fucking 2112. I mean, come on.
Right. But so there's let's leave it at that, I guess. But so it's interesting. So anyways, what was that the name of that band again? The one that you listened to?
Oh, Trida.
Trida. Okay, I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, they actually have a show coming up on the 7th. Yeah, at the 7th at the 331 Club.
Cool. Where is that?
That's over northeast somewhere, I think. I've never been, but I've heard. I know a lot of bands that have played there, but I think that's the next one. So
cool. Awesome.
Definitely going to go. Hopefully snag an interview. I'll contact you guys later. Good thing you went into songwriting because we were almost on a downward spiral about the going away of the record industry and how that's going, and that could be a 3-hour discussion right there.
Yeah, it could. It was seriously like
about how the record industry doesn't exist anymore, and bands exist solely on merchant touring, and that's just sad as shit. Yeah,
and I follow the guys on Periphery just because I'm a fanboy, but they don't make money. They were saying I think like Misha Mansour, who's like one of the guitarists for that band. He said, I think they said he makes like $30,000, $40,000 a year from the band. That's it. So they do all this side stuff. Like he's, got his own like distortion pedals. He did a collaboration with PB for the Invective 120. Badass sound. So that's where they're making their money is endorsements and merchandise.
I mean,
it is sad because not everybody has that opportunity or has the connections to jump in and do all that shit.
Right.
And it's I don't know. And I think the other thing too is like with a lot of that, the bands that were big that have all the money stick around a lot longer than they probably need to. Where there are a lot of up and coming bands that really could like jump in and kind of carry the flag. But the fact of the matter is it's hard for them to actually get up into
noticed,
that, right? So. So that's I think it's a bummer, to be honest. So that's where pop industry stuff comes in, because people have money to throw at it. And sad story. But yeah, the record industry sucks. It's like fractions of a cent, I think, for like any sort of like streaming, service. We'll edit that out.
No, I'm right there with you. It's kind of pathetic. I mean, process-wise, I think it's better because you can literally make an album in your bedroom.
Yeah. And
the technology and all that. But it's just like, yeah, you can do that, and you can, put it on your streaming sites and do whatever. But then it's kind of like, that's it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then you can, if you're lucky, you can maybe do shows. But then you're not going to make anything from the shows because we know how that goes.
Yeah, right.
It's like, I don't know. It's just a weird. I mean, when you think back to like, even like the 80s and early 90s, it was like when you get signed, that was like a big deal.
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
got advance and you got all this tour support, and it's kind of like, now there's nothing.
There isn't. Yeah. I mean, and that's how I kind of got into like the general music industry here. Is like I was recording and posting, some, I guess every once in a while, Facebook videos of me playing and stuff and writing songs, but. Besides that, is like I don't think if I would probably never met Brandon, I'm sure I wouldn't be. I either would have dropped out and started doing just like my solo crap again, or I would have just maybe dropped off altogether. I mean, it's a hobby. Like I've said from day one, like I'm not expecting to make any money.
Oh,
it's sweet and badass, but I'm not expecting it. It's my hobby. My grandma used to always ask me, she's like, "So how much money did you make this one? Or how many shirts did you sell?" And I'm like, it don't matter. Like I'm already way in the hole. I'm never going to make that money back.
I mean, I think I've said this statement with every guest that I've had. It's like if you go into the music industry to make money, you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Yeah, you're doing it wrong.
Never survive.
Yep,
you have to have the passion behind it. It's like basically anymore. I mean, the cover bands are a completely different animal.
Yeah. Yep.
If you and you're not going to make a lot of money, but you're going to make more money.
Yeah.
If you want to make money, do a cover band because that's what people will pay for.
Yep.
If you're going to do original music, be prepared to, split maybe $30 at the end of the night with 4 other bands.
Exactly. Yeah, there's been times where like we just said, just give it to the bands that travel, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Not expecting anything on this, so
yeah. I mean, I've had band leaders come up and say, "Okay, do you want me to give you your $4 or just I might just put it to the band fund?"
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Like so all those gigs, it's like I in my head I'm playing for free anyway, so it doesn't matter. I play for the stage time and for hanging out with the other bands and seeing the other bands.
Yeah, it's just for experience.
Yeah,
and some places will give you like like hex you get the 2-for-1 drink or whatever, right? So at least you get a little bit of that benefit too. But yeah, it's just an experience for me. It's just my passion and my hobby. I've loved music for as far as long as I can think. Like my grandpa actually used to play guitar, actually with Roy Clark. Really? So yeah, he was a bluegrass player until he got his fingers cut off. He got a table saw and cut his fingers right off.
All of them?
All 4 of them. Yep. So he literally was like this. So
that ended that really quickly.
Yeah. So he did play like. It's interesting. I did see him. He had some like cassette tapes of him playing on a steel guitar because he could like pinch the steel guitar, but it was just amazing. Like he was just phenomenal. My grandpa was just great, but that was his. God told him it was done to do the bar thing and stuff, so that was his calling. So but anyways, music has just always been there and stuff, and my parents fully support it, obviously, because they got me guitar and put up with me learning how to play. I mean, hours on end. I mean, that was the thing in high school. Was like I remember I'd go to football, basketball, track practice, whatever, and I'd come home after work, and then I'd go to work and then come home, and then I'd play for like 3 to 5 hours a night, just trying to learn songs, try to get better at what I'm doing and stuff. But it just was always kind of a passion, as I'm sure like you have with like the drums and everything else. So.
Yeah, as I say, I feel I was born with drumsticks in my hand. Yeah. So even those times I don't want to do it, it's like, well, that's what I do. Yeah. So,
and you're good at it too. So compliments too. You're a great drummer too.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well deserved. Yeah. Hey, look at we got to 40.
Oh, we're at almost an hour.
All right, 53:40.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, we could talk about big bands and ticket prices, but we won't. Because when I was talking,
It's pretty crazy though. Yeah, man.
it's insane. Because I was talking to the guys in New Defective, and we were talking about that, and we got off on Tool for some reason, and went off on Tool for about 10 minutes. Good and bad.
Yeah.
But like, when Iron Maiden came to town, it's like, yeah, I'd love to see Iron Maiden. I've never seen them, but I don't want to pay $150 for a nosebleed seat.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
you're paying thousands, was it 3,000 or something like that for one of the front seats?
Something like that. And that's just the ticket.
Yeah.
That's assuming you don't buy anything at the show,
Exactly.
don't eat or drink anything at the show.
Yep.
Yeah. Pay the $15 for the beer and the $50 for a T-shirt, and it's just like it's gotten. But again, that goes back to they're getting nothing from the record company, so it's like that's how they have to make their money.
Yeah.
Even though all those guys have endorsement deals and other bands, and Bruce is still writing books as far as I know, and he's a freaking pilot, and it's just like,
Jesus. Yeah, I forgot he flies the tour jet.
Yeah, Air Force One. Yeah, it's great. Okay, so what was some highlight like national shows that you've seen?
So Trivium is always a fun show to go watch.
I've seen them twice, I think, and yeah, they actually opened the Slipknot show.
Oh, let's see.
On the oh my god, what the hell is the name of the album?
What year?
Like 2008, 2009.
Crusade? Was
No,
it?
it was after.
Kirsu Gomen?
No.
In Waves? No, that wasn't that.
I saw them on the In Waves tour too.
Yeah, me too.
Not
Kirsu Gomen, I'm sorry, Shogun.
Shogun.
Yeah.
It was,
sorry, Kirsu Gomen is like the first song on that. Yeah. This is the best freaking song. That, honestly, if that was like probably one of the fucking most badass songs I've ever heard in my life, when that first song, like all just acoustic guitar and then freaking big ass gong and then just thrashed out that shit. So, which I'm sure they probably opened with that. Maybe?
I think they did, and I don't know if I had the album at the time because I was just getting into Trivium.
Yeah,
I loved the Crusade because that was like should have been the follow up to And Justice for All.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really gotten into Shogun yet. And they probably played most of Shogun. But it was weird because it was at XL, and the fast stuff didn't.
No.
Lost it completely.
I've never been to Excel because I've heard that the sound's not that great. It's
see, I disagree.
Really?
I mean, I haven't been to the Target Center since they redid it.
Okay.
But like
Yeah,
the Target Center was crap.
Yeah.
Every other show I've seen at the XL is excellent.
Really?
Yeah. But just for their style of music, and they were the first ones up, so maybe they weren't dialed in yet.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember the other band. I don't remember their name. I remember them because the visual show was pretty good, but I don't remember who the fuck it was. Anyway, so In Waves Tour, was that the one at the place downtown?
Yeah, Station 4 was in Waves Tour that I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah, so they did Station 4 when I saw them, and then I saw them during the next one, which was Vengeance Falls, and then I seen them like 4 times. It's I don't know, their musicianship is crazy, especially for like a guitar player. Like,
oh yeah.
And have you seen Alex Bent yet? Their newest drummer. I mean, like,
no.
Oh yeah, you should check him out. Like,
okay,
you want to see someone who is like fucking phenomenal. That guy and he's just this little guy. He's this little short dude, but God, he's like. It's just amazing. He makes it look all effortless, and he's like doing all these different like cymbal accents and stuff like that. Nice. Like just amazing. So, and I seen him pretty much with every besides Travis Smith because he was gone by the time In Waves came around. But I've seen pretty much every like Nick Augusto and that I can't remember the dude from when they did what's the white one? Good God, I'm blanking on.
Silence in the Snow.
Yeah, Silence in the Snow.
No, I take that back. I didn't see them in Waves. I saw them in Silence in the Snow.
Oh, okay, yeah. So then, which was their Quiet album, right? It was interesting.
It was interesting.
Yeah, there was a lot of fuck yous not to the fans, but people who were like, I want to hear you scream. And he's like, when we tour, we'll do screaming songs, and we'll just, this is the song we'll do.
And that was like a whole thing. It
Yeah.
was like he was fucking up his voice, and he's like, I have to learn how to sing differently, and that was like a whole...
Yeah, that was the crusade.
Yeah.
Why he stopped doing that during the crusade. He was like, I'm not going to do it because I keep fucking my voice up. And then he went back into it with Shogun and In Waves and Vengeance Falls, and then they said they saw Dio before he passed because they were touring with him and stuff, and they were like blown away every night how great he was. So they were like, this Silence of Snow, they took vocal lessons, they took guitar lessons, like which I'm like, you guys are you're already like phenomenal, but yeah, they took guitar lessons, all this stuff to get better so that they could like kind of make it like almost like a Dio tribute to some extent, based on their experiences when they were touring with them, because they just
I will have to
wanted
listen to that album.
Yeah, so it's an interesting album, but like then they got the Sin and Sentence, which is their latest one, is kind of more back into it. But when you watch them play it live, Corey's not doing the screaming Corey does the screaming, and Matt doesn't do a lot of the screaming anymore. Yeah. So, but it's an interesting. I don't know. Those guys are just they blow my mind. And let's see who else from a national show that I've seen lately that's been crazy.
And the thing that cracks me up about Trivium is the fact that Matt joined when he was 14 or something? He's something incredibly young.
Ascendancy. I actually just got back into listening to Ascendancy again, which is the one, which is kind of like their first major album, one that came out. And God, the sound on it still stands up to time. The sound on it is amazing. Just from somebody who was, I think he was 17 when they recorded that, or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is just amazing. Like,
which is just insane.
Yeah,
it's just like, dude,
fuck you.
but then you look at groups like Agony Reigns, and all those kids are under 20. It's just like, fuck. What am I doing?
Like, I'm the old man of the group. God, and even that's frustrating. I try not to go on YouTube all the time to watch videos of young kids playing because they're just blowing me away. They're like sweet picking and I'm like, I hate you. But yeah, we did see it. So I mean, bands are on my list. Like I got to miss. Unfortunately, I had to travel out of town for work, but I missed when Gojira and Slayer were in town, which was at the Myth. But I'm not, now that I've been to the Myth a few times, I'm not sad that I missed it. So we saw Megadeth there when they had Children of Bodom and Suicidal Tendencies.
Okay.
And they way oversold that place. And I mean, it was so Chris Adler. Interestingly enough, my brother's wife works at this place that does these maps with pins and stuff on them. And Chris Adler contacted her and was like, "Hey, I got these maps and I'd like to order more for my family for Christmas." And
okay,
she's like, "Yeah, okay." He's like, "Yeah, I'm a touring band. I'm in a touring band and stuff. So can you guys deliver and all this other stuff?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, no problem." He's like, "I don't know if you've heard of Lamb of God or." So she texts me. She's like, "Do you know who Chris Adler is?" I'm like, "Yeah, one of the best drummers ever." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm talking to him right now." I'm like, "What?"
And you're like,
"Yeah,
I'm on my way."
Yeah, exactly. So it's funny. She forwarded me. She probably shouldn't say, but she forwarded me the email conversations that they had afterwards, and I have his cell number. So I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to use it. But it was crazy because he was like, if we're in town, anybody listen to my stuff? And she was like, yeah, I think my brother-in-law does. And so when he was with Megadeth, he got us tickets. He's like, yeah, how many do you need? Nice. So we just went to roll call and stuff, but went to the Myth. But yeah, honestly, I didn't stay long enough to see the whole show because it was so damn packed. And I had to go piss or something like that, come back, and I'm like, there's no way I'm not in the freaking lobby, just looking in over the crowd. I'm like, I'm done. So me and my brother were like, let's just go. It's just too hot and I'm not shoving back in there again.
Oh, so, God, no.
But it was still cool to see him. And their newest guitarist, Kiko, or whatever his name is, just dude makes it look effortless. So
yeah, those are the best. Where it's just kind of like you're not even playing. You're not even doing it.
Oh shit! And the cover in Ingentum, the band I was in, we covered Holy Wars, and I never understood how fucking Dave could play those riffs and sing that at the same time.
Because he wrote them?
Yeah, right. And he's all over the place on that. It's just fucking crazy watching him do that. So, and I've tried singing it before, and nope. No. I think I can get one time through most of the words, and after that I'm done. So, I'm like, yep, I screwed up. I'm done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't understand how people can play guitar and sing anyway.
Yeah.
Like that always baffles me.
It's interesting. Like Master Puppets, I can sing, no problem. Yeah. But you get into like some of these other songs too. It's just like I can't do it. Like even some of the stuff where like we play, like every once in a while, if like Andrew Strobe, who's our singer, can't make it to practice, it's like I'll jump in and sing just for like reference points. But the rhythms and the vocal pieces don't really, they're so different that I'll lose my spot on the playing. And I don't, how in the hell some people just do that? Like even like the guys in Trivium, it's like watch them and he's just singing away like it's no big deal. And mad respect for people who can do that.
Oh, so, absolutely.
Yeah.
And drummers that can do that too.
Yeah.
Though I don't know if singing and drumming would be easier or harder.
I don't know.
Depending on
I don't think it depends, right? So it depends how intricate the stuffs are. Like I don't think you could do like Gojira or anything like that.
Oh,
that would be crazy.
Or anything like that, no.
Yeah, Mario's another. Guys, I just watched a video of him the other day, or Gojira, watching him play. It's just the guy is a freaking monster, and I love that he's a huge cymbal accent guy.
Nice.
All over the place. So yeah, I love that guy. Anyways, sorry.
No, because the only metal drummer I've seen do that is the drummer for Sinangaweed, whatever that band is, and they're from up north somewhere. And the couple times I've seen them, they do, I believe it's Rain and Blood, and the drummer sings it.
Crazy.
Which is very cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, props to that.
Jeez. Too many talented people out there.
I know. The Midwest just is so jam-packed.
Yeah.
It's almost to a fault.
Yeah, it's a little saturated maybe, but it's.
But I'd rather have it saturated than.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Going out and having literally the same 10 bands playing every weekend.
Yeah. 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 I'm trying to remember. There's like some places I've seen that were that way. And I was like, why didn't you just switch it up a little bit? But well, I won't go there. So, but yeah, it's good. But it's crazy. I can't state it enough that just being a part of that scene and meeting people, like being here, and thank you for that.
Oh, of course.
Is just it's amazing just to be included in that group of people and sharing stage with people that just blow you away, day in and day out, right? It's just it's amazing, and like just you can sit there and I like to geek out over gear, and I played some gigs where like me and the guitarist talking about how he built his own amp or built his own UA47 and stuff like that, and I'm like just. So I can geek out with people about gear, but also geek out about music and really kind of take in a lot of stuff out there. And it's you have stuff that's like uber serious and stuff that's like just off the cuff funny shit, and and it's great just to see like different people's takes on music and how they portray it and kind of, feed it to you, not just like from an audio perspective, but from visual as well. So,
absolutely, yeah. I mean, every time I go to a show, it's like a third thing. It's like the third is about watching the band. Another third is about hanging out with the band.
Yeah, absolutely.
And another third, sadly enough, is like going to the merch tables and just seeing the array of stuff that people have. It's just awesome.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, and it's one of the things we keep. So we got a mannequin now. So we got something for sure. But yeah, there's some of them like because like Kama Sutra is one of the ones that stands out. That I remember like their merch tables. They thought it through, man. They got
it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see Kama Sutra, even if you don't buy anything, please buy something. Just go and check out the table because they set it up so fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's and then I'm trying to remember the band that we played with Opal. Same thing. Like she had like a bird cage with lights and shit in it, and the black velvet and stuff like that, and all the different shirts and other merch and stuff. She even brought earplugs and stuff like that in for free. Like, here you go, handing out earplugs for people. I'm like, see, they thought that stuff all through. So, but yeah. One of these days we'll get to that caliber. Yeah, someday.
If you don't. It's funny though because I actually have 2 copies of your album.
Oh shit!
One of them before you was released through Zero Budget?
Yep, Zero Budget, right.
I have one before and then one after. So one has a Zero Budget, one doesn't.
No way.
That's fucking awesome.
No shit.
So
we had that.
one I must have bought from you at a show, I think from a show at Lee's. Because that's where I bought the t-shirt too. And then, I don't know why I ordered another one. Maybe I didn't remember that I ordered it or whatever, which happens.
Well, we appreciate it anyway, so.
And then I got it and I was looking at it and it's like, oh, I already have this. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. When the next one comes out, I'll give you that one for free. So that way.
Oh, don't worry about
That way we got.
I enjoy supporting the band.
No, the same here.
Oh.
I'm a geek. So, by the way, any bands out there, get Fat Guy shirts if you could. Like,
Yeah, tell me fucking about it, man. I mean, I've got the height,
Yeah,
a little bit
right.
of the girth, but it's just kind of like, yeah, we have XL, but they're really big XL.
Yeah.
So no, they're not.
yeah, and I'm a 3. So
Yeah.
So a lot of people are cut it at the 2s. So it's a little hard. So
I mean, I understand you have to pay extra for the bigger sizes, but trust me, we
I'll pay
appreciate
extra,
it.
I promise.
Yeah, we'll check in
So-
the extra like $5 for it. Absolutely.
yeah, hell yeah,
You know, especially
absolutely.
if it's a badass shirt.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how many times I've gone around and like, I want a shirt, and they don't have it in my size, so I'll buy it. I mean, I still end up buying a CD anyways, but yeah, and hats are cool too. I like hats.
Hats are cool, and then I'm as you can see in my collection here, I'm digging like the kind of
Oh, cool.
alternative kind of stuff that people are doing. Like I have, the standard shot glasses and lighters, and All Out Mutiny. Shout out to them because they have flasks,
No
which
shit.
is awesome.
Huh.
And then I was at the show, Surrounded by Water had bottle openers, and I'm just like, fuck,
Damn.
throw your name on anything, I guess.
No, it's badass ideas to have that extra
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, I want to do hats. Like actually not. Sorry for the flat bill hat, but yeah, like a standard hat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A baseball cap and stuff. So we priced them out at a couple spots. We were trying to look around for, like just better ideas because even the trucker hats, which is what I think we'll probably end up doing, but do like an embroidered like trucker hat and stuff like that, and then. I know we want to do a new T-shirt design and stuff. Like we were talking about doing something with that already, so we'll have another T-shirt available. We have 2 of them right now. One of them actually was a painting that I ended up buying from somebody online, which is crazy. The first one with just the red.
Oh, the red,
fits.
yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got the other one, which we actually paid. That was a paid logo, but we kind of based it off of the original logo or the original one because of the fact that. It was there, and I can't remember who Brandon went through, so I'm sorry. Maybe I had a comment or something, but we went through somebody, and they took that logo and they like did that really cool like roots and stuff like that, and just it's badass. Was not expecting that, and it turned out really well. But yeah, so we're talking about new T-shirt designs, getting hats going. I'd love to get like even beanies. Like I like beanie hats. I like to wear those a lot too. But they're hard to find people to do them. You know? Yeah, at least
I was going to say I have like a dozen of them from different bands.
I have to find out who
So I would contact like the one I have up there is from Simapa.
Okay.
And I'll show it to you when you're done because it's really nice. So contact them and see what they.
Yeah, I could talk to Bloodfist too because I know that his band. I actually bought a beanie from them. It was really cool, all embroidered and everything. So
and my Endless Rain one is one I wear on somewhat regular basis.
Yeah,
so,
me too. It's a little short sometimes. I don't know if I shrunk it or.
Yeah, I don't know. But the nicest one I have is from the Culture of, and I'll show you that one too. Cool. It's a really thick. It's blaze orange.
Oh yeah, I bought one from Warwick too.
Okay,
and I do wear that one, but that one's like it's freaking like that's a winter hat. Like it's balls out like I'm like sweating when I put it on. But yeah, it was another really cool hat. So yeah, but that one has like the fleece inside of it and everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Heavy duty.
But
patches are always fun too.
Yeah, and that's I think Sadler's talked about patches a few times.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And we do stickers and give them away when we get them and stuff like that too. So.
Most bands, I think, out of all the stickers I've ever gotten, I've only paid for 2. But it's like anytime I order anything from Will, he'll throw in fucking a dozen stickers of various shit, and I'm just like, you just have like 1,000 of these. Like, I can't tell you how many Coffin Rot and how many 1459 stickers I have.
Yeah,
it's insane.
I still have like because we promote for 1459 and Zero Budget too. So I mean, we have like a big stack of stickers that I always throw out there too. We have guitar picks too that we
guitar picks are always good. Yeah.
So, but no, those are some badass ideas. I think Sadler had talked about wanting to look at shot glasses and stuff too. So, but I really do like the bottle openers and flask idea. So
yeah, those are cool. But
for the future,
All right, cool.
Awesome.
I think that covers everything. So
yeah, I do appreciate it. Thanks for having me, man.
Of course, man.
So
and we'll catch up and we'll see you guys next week.